And I think it seriously damaged all of Phil's legacy, including his coaching legacy. To me, everything's under revision as it relates, under review as it relates to Phil Jackson. Tex Winter, maybe he was the guy pulling the strings. Phil Jackson seems like a mirage or a...
Are you calling him a fraud?
Yeah, a fraud. I was trying to stay away from that word.
I put you there.
Fraudulent. Yes. Doug, you look at me like you're looking at me like you want to slap the taste out of my mouth.
No, he's the greatest coach in the history of modern basketball. But this is not a coaching position. This is a management position. This is the Peter principle, okay? He was promoted beyond the level of his skill set, and he failed massively. But as a coach, it shouldn't hurt him. It will hurt his legacy, and the big reason is it's the last we'll see of him, okay? Because when guys have a chance to, I mean, look at who else everybody's failed in New York. Larry Brown failed in New York. You go through, they've had plenty of New York failures.
God looks unprepared and old for pitch me.
Look, this actually helps the Lakers why they didn't hire him. Hey, Phil, do you want to come back and coach the Lakers? Well, what about not coaching road games? That's not the deal, Phil. Then all of Laker Nation...
Well, give him some credit. That Peter principle's pretty good. I like that.
No, I mean, look,
you're right.
He's not a manager. Look, he's not a president. He was a coach. As a coach, he was a spectacular success.
He could relate.
As a manager, he was a spectacular failure.
He was handing out books to the players, getting them to read. He could relate to the players when he was also younger. He goes to New York, all he does is feud with the athletes. Carmelo, Porzingis won't even sit there for the exit meeting. He can't get any free agents to come to New York and talk to him. And the ones he gets, he falls asleep in the meeting. I mean, he lost his touch. At 65, most guys retire from work. What does he do? He goes and collects a massive paycheck, and then he's 72, falling asleep in meetings.
He ain't Pat Riley.
This definitely affects his legacy.
Yeah.
It tremendously affects his legacy, even back to his coaching. George Seifert, Bill Walsh is always given credit, Hall of Fame coach, always given credit for his offense. Well, George Seifert built that defense, okay? As an assistant, he won 3 Super Bowls with that defense. He took over as the head coach. He won 2 Super Bowls. No one talks about George Seifert in the Hall of Fame when you talk about the best coaches in the league. Why? Because he went to Carolina as the GM, and he ended up with a 1-15 team. Okay, being the GM, putting together the talent, it tremendously affected the way he was viewed, because he retired as the winningest coach percentage-wise all time. It affected it. This is going to affect Phil Jackson in the same way.
Look, I think it's going to affect him, but I think the big thing is there is no Phil Jackson 3.0. If this was 2.0, there's no 3.0. But if you want to doubt his coaching, that's fine, okay? Because Jordan couldn't win with Doug Collins, and they won. And people forget, Kobe and Shaq were together, and they couldn't win.
Let me tell you where this really affects him, in my view. Pat Riley versus Phil Jackson. I got to go with Pat Riley as a better NBA career as a coach and general man blows Phil Jackson out of the water.
I think that's fair. Only he didn't win in New York either, although they were much more competitive. And he only won in Miami when he dusted off Stan Van Gundy mid-season, stabbed him in the back, and then took over and won.
But he's been the president and run
a better.
He has a better NBA career than Pat Riley. I mean, than Phil Jackson.
Overall career, but not coaching career.
I think we need to go deeper on that. I like that, though.
Jerry West, the greatest executive of all time. Phil Jackson, the greatest coach of the modern era. Pat Riley, probably the best combined.